Welcome back. All romantic relationships go through ups and downs, and they take work, commitment, a willingness to adapt and change with your partner. The question is, what makes a healthy relationship, and what are some signs that people should look out for? Joining us to share more is the author and relationship expert, Shauntay L. Dunbar, and good to have you back. And how things going?
Hi, I'm so happy to be back. Things are going great. I'm loving my Miami living.
Yeah, yes. Well, while you're out there in the warmth, people are looking to have a hot relationship. So let's talk about a hot relationship. And as I talked about in the beginning, uh, the need to make it work, right? And so, why are we not seeing, in so many cases, things not working?
I think it could be one of the biggest things is a lack of respect. Maybe we haven't established how important respect is in a relationship, right? So it's like we're not going to agree all the time, but how are we talking to each other to make us feel like it's a safe space to have our opinions, and not someone take offense to it or lead to an argument or cause issues. So I think respect is like the most important thing, if anything else.
Right. We hear a lot about toxic relationships, but let's talk about healthy ones. What would you define as a healthy relationship?
A healthy relationship has lots of trust in it. You communicate well with each other. You're kind to each other. Talk to each other nicely. There's a ton of support with goals and family and friends. Everyone wants to see you guys win. You guys want to win. And most importantly, you really enjoy each other's company. I think one of the big things to notice is like if you guys are in the same room together and you can be silent without feeling like someone has to speak or someone has to entertain the other. I think you're in a really good place where you know how to just be with each other, and that's more than
Yeah. The healthy relationship is what every relationship really wants to be about, I think. You start out wanting that healthy relationship. And let's be honest, life happens and things happen. But what are some of the things I can do to make sure that that relationship is maintained? Because we know it starts out good. There's a lot of life. We've got, that new relationship energy, but that slowly can wane off. So, how do we keep the healthy relationship going?
I think you should check in with your partner, right? Especially when you feel like there's some kind of shift or maybe you've experienced something and you're trying to work through it. I think talking to your partner about it can help you guys stay on the path. So once you start looking to others to discuss issues or things that you have and not talking to the person you're in a relationship with, that's when a lot of the toxicity and the trouble starts, right? Because you can't take advice from everybody. Not everybody's operating out of a good place. So you want to be careful about who you're getting that advice from. But yeah, just talking it out to your partner and being really self aware. And honestly, therapy is a beautiful thing. Most people should tap into that. I think everybody should, at least once in your life.
Well, you kind of stole my thunder there because I wanted to talk about that. A lot of couples that have success talk about the fact, hey, we go to couples therapy, right? And it's real. But we do know stigmas, particularly in the minority community, about having therapy, that therapy means that there's something wrong and that you're crazy and this, that, and the third. But talk to us about the value of couples therapy.
I think it just helps you have another tool on how to communicate better with each other. Like there's a way to release stress in a relationship when you go to couples therapy. There's a way to develop coping mechanisms for when you go through things. I mean, a lot of times when people go to therapy, it's usually because they've experienced some type of loss. Maybe it was like a death in the family or of a close friend. Maybe it's the loss of a job. Maybe there's been some changes in their life that they've never experienced before, and they just don't know how to balance it just yet. So therapy helps you become a lot more self-aware, and in being more self-aware, you know your triggers and you're able to communicate better with your partner. So I recommend that you go individually and as a couple, especially if you're considering getting married. I think couples therapy would be a really good thing to do beforehand,
Yeah.
right? So,
But you just don't go to a therapist. You got to find the right match, right? I think that that's also critical because in order to have success, you got to have that trust, right? We talked about trust. What about finding that therapist? How do you go about fleshing that out? Because you just don't go on the phone book and pick one out.
Not a phone book.
Right, I dated myself, right? You just don't go on Google and pick one out, right?
No, but you can Google. And honestly, Taraji P. Henson has a really cool foundation for mental health where you can log on. It's called the Boris Foundation, I believe. And if you go on that website, you're able to pick, therapists from like all over the country. They give you their backgrounds, topics that they, are really good at discussing. And then you could kind of narrow it down and pick from there. And at least you'll get like 5 free sessions to see if it's for you. And one thing I will say about picking a therapist, make sure it's somebody who you feel like offers you solutions, right? Offers you tools, not someone who just listens and just like, okay, okay, that's nice, and doesn't get to like the harder question. Because if they don't do that, it's less likely that you'll tap into, what the core is, or why you're feeling the way you are. So those are just a couple of tips to pick up.
Yeah.
Not easy, but you can also, not be afraid to break up with them too, right? So don't feel obligated to stick with someone who's not really helping you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll keep looking in the phone book. How about that? Listen, before we go, please tell people what's going on with you.
I love it. So I do have my short film out based on my book, Diving in Stilettos First, Memoirs of Dating Mr. Right Now. Right now it's in a ton of film festivals, so I'm very excited about that. So make sure you check out my Instagram to follow and, stay abreast to the new things that I have going on. I'm also working on a really cool cooking show because I love my plant-based food. And yeah, just living and working and just maintaining my happiness.
That's all right. Well, Shauntay L. Dunbar, one, thank you so much for being with us, and gonna make sure we get the people connected to you. And we're not sending them to the phone book; we're sending them to the website. Go visit divingstilettosfirst.com and then follow them on Instagram at diving underscore in underscore stilettos 9 underscore first. And guess what? You can be connected to her. Don't go anywhere. We got more open. We'll be right back right after this.